Peter, we're gonna be late for my cousin's wedding. Aren't you dressed yet?
Oh, crap. Well, one of us is gonna have to change. Unzip me.
What's up, guys? Spenny. After this week, the country of America is split into two groups of people, and there's one group that is winning. Here's the first group, ladies and gentlemen. This is a percentage of the country.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry.
About the deportations.
All my people are getting attacked. The children.
So sad. They're being attacked.
I don't understand.
Really.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but
She wishes she could do something. You know, she's worth billions of dollars. She has multiple palatial estate mansions she's never once offered to make them migrant shelters. She's never once offered to put a bunch of tents and burn barrels on any of her properties in order to welcome all the third world criminal aliens that she weeps over, even though Selena Gomez was born in America and her mother's an American, right? It's actually her degenerate Mexican father that split and abandoned her, yet this is the side of her heritage that she embraces. This is what broken, smooth brain self-loathing looks like, actually. Anyway, that's wokeness. Here's the other part of the country. This is the ascendant part of the country. This is the majority of the country right now.
Heard you got deported, dude. Bye.
Use that clip because not only is it hysterical, but like you could argue that Theo Von's more famous and powerful than Selena Gomez. It's an incredible moment. And these LA riots really sort of was a mask off moment. So it kind of showed you that there's no tolerance any longer for the criminal element. There's no tolerance for people who are deciding to wave foreign flags in our nation and behave like criminals. That's what we call them, criminal aliens. And they've been called foreign invaders. Donald Trump's called them an army of foreign invaders, and now they've behaved like an army of foreign invaders. And so if there's one person to be deported back to Mexico, I would fund the deportation. It doesn't matter to me. I would just anything to get Katy Perry out of here, right? Like, please. You know, Katy Perry's an American. But if she wants to move to Mexico, I'll help. I know she's way richer than I'll ever be, but I'll help fund it. Please. Whatever you do. Maybe Katy Perry was in Los Angeles throwing brick. I don't know. Maybe it was her waving the flags. We're not certain. Katy Perry, of course, had her Mexican leg of her new tour canceled. She said it was because of technical difficulties, but it was after her embarrassing Blue Origin dildo flight, fake space astronaut, glory hole trip. Katy Perry says she feels like a human piñata following online backlash to her dildo trip. You know, that's some cultural appropriation there. Saying you're a human piñata, all right? Quit culturally appropriating. You're a lib. You're not supposed to be allowed to do that. I think the reason actually why Mexico canceled Katy Perry's concerts there was because they not because of the Blue Origin flight, but because they saw footage like this. This is apparently what Katy Perry does at her concert. This is like people pay money for this, and Mexico's like, you know, we're a failed narco state, but even we have standards. Even we have standards, and we're not going to allow this on our people. And good for you. You know, the cartels can operate here with impunity, but we're like, this is a bridge too far. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Katy Perry is back in the news. Oh, and you can imagine why. It's because Katy Perry has decided to, once again, get all political. Okay? First came the feminist astronaut glory hole trip. And now comes this. Katy Perry saying on her Instagram story here, Los Angeles is a place that literally began as a Spanish colony founded by Mexican settlers in 1781. 1781, that would be when Mexico was Spain. It was part of the Spanish colonial empire. You understand that? Mexico was a European asset colony, right? Okay. So you're saying that Europeans founded Mexico. Got it. This was once Mexican land, and the people being targeted today are often descendants of those who have lived here for generations or who came seeking safety, work, and dignity. So she got community noted pretty hard on this. Los Angeles was founded under the Spanish Empire, not Mexico, by Spaniards. Mexico didn't even exist until 1821. But let's follow this to its logical conclusion, shall we? So Katy Perry is sitting here saying that California should go back to Mexico, like that Mexico should then own California. Like, why? Under what limiting principle here? So, like, following these limiting principles, you're like, okay, so every piece of land should go back to the people who originally owned it. So then let's go through this with California. So then America would give it back to Mexico because Mexico only like held California for like a second after the Spanish Empire gave up that colony. And then actually California should go back to the Spanish, who were really like a Catholic, should go back to the Catholics because they were a Catholic empire. And it was the Catholic Church that was putting churches and building missions throughout California. So it should go back to the Vatican, in fact, after it goes back to Europe. And then what happens next? Then the Vatican should give it back to the Native American tribes. And then the Native American tribes give it to who? Well, the Native American tribes have to leave. They're not native to that land. I mean, if you go back and you trace Native American tribes, they crossed the Bering Strait from Russia and Asia, actually. So you trace their land. So they actually have to, Native Americans need to move off any reservation or any land they have now. They need to go back up to the Bering Strait. They need to go back to Russia. Okay? So that's where the migration comes from the cradle of civilization there, in the Mediterranean. So that's where the migration comes from here to this continent. So that's what you have to do. So send all Native Americans back to Russia. Got it? Thank you, Katy Perry. You're so smart. She's so smart. Los Angeles was founded by a Catholic Spanish Empire. This is the same Katy Perry who tried to steal a convent from elderly nuns. One of them collapsed and died in court. This actually did happen. Katy Perry went to court to force the sale of a convent to use as her luxury home against the fervent wishes of the nuns who lived there for decades. An 89-year-old nun dropped dead in court, pleading, "Katy Perry, please stop." Talk about bad juju, man. A reminder that Hollywood airheads, just that, clueless Katy Perry, or her media flack, doesn't know that in 1781, there was no such thing as Mexico. It was New Spain, part of the Spanish Empire. Katy Perry supports migrants amid ICE raids. How can a city built on Mexican labor, Mexican history, and Mexican culture turn around and criminalize the very people who shaped it? What's so strange to me is that Katy Perry hasn't once offered her palatial mansions that she's killing nuns for to all of the criminal aliens. It's so odd. It's so weird, right? Like, none of the foreign flag waving aliens, none of them got any offer from Katy Perry. Katy Perry hasn't once offered any of these protesters, any of them. None of these guys. Like this guy, like Katy Perry, have you offered to help this guy on the scooter who just got bodied? Has Katy Perry offered to help the guy who got shot in the balls by ICE? Okay? The guy who was shot in the balls, apparently he's going to lose his ball sack because he got shot in the balls. Has Katy Perry offered to help him? Look at all these beautiful protesters. Look at how tough this is. Look how tough life is for them. Look at him. A native of this land. They came here illegally long after Mexico sold the land to us after we won a war. Katy sued nuns to get their home. Katy Perry is retarded. Mexico had the land for 27 years that they took from the native indigenous population. They then fought a war and lost and sold the land to America. I'm really confused. Doesn't Katy Perry live on Mexican land? They're literally reinventing entire histories right in front of our eyes. This is what the Marxists always do. Or maybe it's just because Katy Perry got lost in space. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just because Katy Perry is failing. Nobody's buying her album. Nobody's buying tickets to go see her. And she's like desperate. She's like desperately doing everything she possibly can to try and stay relevant. Which is actually the move, right, with these celebrities. Pretty embarrassing. Our response to Katy Perry is pretty simple.
Heard you got deported, dude. Bye.
Yep. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe for more history lessons to Katy Perry.